Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that a machine can do 70% of your job. You still have rent, you still have bills, you still have a family to support. But your company suddenly doesn't need as many people anymore. So what happens to your life? And here's the part nobody tells you. You might not actually lose your job. Your job might simply become something completely different. 6 months earlier, Alex thought his career was safe. He wasn't a CEO. He wasn't a programmer. He wasn't doing anything particularly unusual. He worked an ordinary office job, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Every month, his paycheck paid for rent, food, transportation, subscriptions, and whatever was left went into savings. Alex didn't love his job, but he understood the deal. He traded his time for money. As long as the company needed his time, he had income. Then AI got better. Not science fiction better. Workplace better. At first, everyone was excited. The AI could write boring emails. It could summarize 50 pages in seconds. It could analyze information faster than a human employee. It could create reports, organize data, schedule meetings, and automate repetitive tasks. And Alex thought, great, less boring work. And he was right. But there was a second question nobody asked. If one employee could now do the work that previously required 2 people, why would the company need 2 people? That's where the story gets interesting. 3 months later, Alex received a meeting invitation. No explanation. Just 3 words, important company update. Inside the room, his manager explained that the company wasn't shutting down. Business was actually growing. Revenue was increasing. Customers were increasing. But the company had discovered something strange. It could grow without hiring as many people. Some positions disappeared. Alex was one of them. His laptop was closed. His security badge was deactivated. And just like that, 10 years of experience became a line on a resume. Now here's where most stories about AI and jobs go wrong. They make it sound like the future is simply AI taking every job and humans becoming unemployed. But reality is much more complicated. The World Economic Forum's 2025 Future of Jobs report projected that by 2030, major trends could create around 170 million jobs, while displacing around 92 million, resulting in a projected net increase of 78 million jobs. So the real question isn't, will AI destroy every job? The real question is, which parts of your job are actually valuable? And that's exactly what Alex had to figure out. Alex had spent 10 years becoming very good at doing tasks. Writing reports, moving information between systems, preparing presentations, following procedures, checking documents. But now software could handle many of those tasks. And suddenly, Alex realized something uncomfortable. He had trained himself to become excellent at the exact things machines were becoming excellent at. But Alex wasn't useless, not even close. He understood the company's customers. He knew why clients complained. He could tell when a report didn't make sense. He could negotiate with people. He could explain complicated problems in simple language. He understood the business. The problem was that he had never learned how to combine those skills with AI. And this is where the future of work becomes less about humans versus AI, and more about humans who use AI versus humans who don't. The World Economic Forum's 2025 report found that many employers expect to invest heavily in upskilling workers as AI changes the workplace, while others expect to reduce their workforce where technology can automate certain tasks. Alex didn't become an AI engineer. He didn't need to. He learned something much simpler: how to make AI useful. He learned how to use it to research faster. He learned how to draft faster. He learned how to analyze information. He learned how to automate repetitive tasks, but he remained responsible for the decisions. And slowly, something changed. The same technology that had made his old job smaller started making Alex more valuable in his new one. Eventually, Alex started making money outside a traditional job. Not because AI gave him a magic button. Not because he discovered some secret AI side hustle. And definitely not because he stopped working. He simply learned how to use technology to multiply skills he already had. 1 hour of work could now produce more useful output than before. And that changes something fundamental about the economy. When technology makes a task cheaper and faster, the value often moves somewhere else. The question becomes, who captures that value? Think about what happened when computers entered the workplace. Computers didn't eliminate every office worker. They changed what office workers did. The same thing may happen with AI. Some tasks will disappear. Some jobs will shrink. New jobs will appear. Existing jobs will be redesigned. And entirely new combinations of skills will become valuable. The World Economic Forum expects skills involving AI, big data, and cybersecurity to grow rapidly through 2030, while human abilities such as analytical thinking, creativity, resilience, leadership, and collaboration remain important. So the winning skill may not simply be knowing AI. It may be knowing what to do with AI. But there's another side to this story. AI can make you faster. It can also make you confidently wrong. Imagine Alex asking an AI system to analyze an important financial report. The AI produces an answer in seconds. Everything looks perfect. The numbers look professional. The explanation sounds convincing. Alex almost sends it to the client. Then he checks the original data. There's a mistake. A small mistake that could have cost the company thousands of dollars. And that's when Alex realizes something important. AI can generate answers, but someone still needs to understand the problem. Someone needs to question the answer. Someone needs to recognize when something doesn't make sense. And someone needs to take responsibility for the final decision. That's why the future probably won't belong entirely to people who blindly trust AI. It may belong to people who can ask the right questions, judge the answers, and take responsibility for the result. In other words, the human doesn't necessarily disappear. The human moves up the chain. Now go back to Alex's old life. His old career was built around completing tasks. His new career was built around solving problems. And that distinction may become increasingly important. Because companies don't really pay you simply for your job title. They pay you for the problems you can solve. If technology changes the task, the person who only knows how to perform that task becomes vulnerable. But the person who understands the problem can learn a new way to solve it. And that brings us back to the question we started with. What happens to your life if AI takes your job? Maybe the answer is unemployment. For some people, it could be. Maybe the answer is a completely different career. For others, it could mean working alongside AI. And for some people, it could create opportunities that didn't exist before. There is no guarantee that everyone will benefit equally. Technology can create enormous wealth, while also disrupting people's lives. The important point is that the future isn't simply humans versus machines. It's about how humans adapt when machines change the value of their work. Alex didn't get his old life back. He got something different. His old career was built around doing tasks. His new career was built around solving problems. And that may be the biggest lesson of all. If AI could do your job tomorrow, don't only ask, will AI replace me? Ask the more important question. What can I learn to do with AI that I couldn't do before? Because the future may not belong to humans who beat the machines. It may belong to humans who learn how to direct them. The job may change. The technology may change. The entire industry may change. But if you can keep learning, keep thinking, and keep solving problems, you don't have to know exactly what the future looks like. You just need to make sure you're capable of changing with it.